ImmuStem and AdaptoStem together, supporting the body to be the best it can be.
Dr. Malay, how will I feel after taking AdaptoStem and ImmuStem?
The ImmuStem is going to have an immediate effect, but I tell you, your immune system is starting to function better after 24 hours. You put AdaptoStem along with it, and most will feel it within 30 minutes.
Order now at healthylooking.com. The Stem Cell Wellness Kit from Dr. Malay protects your body's stem cells and will make you feel better faster. The Stem Cell Wellness Kit with AdaptoStem and ImmuStem and your free gift Relaxol is only available at healthylooking.com or toll free at 800-563-3980. That's 800-563-3980. Don't forget to enter promo code George for free shipping. George's Stem Cell Wellness Kit at healthylooking.com. That's healthylooking.com.
If you want to improve your shooting, you need a Mantis X. The Mantis X can improve your shooting dramatically and is a must-have for every responsible gun owner. The Mantis X is a high-tech but easy-to-use system used extensively by the military that improves your shooting quickly and gives you confidence in your ability to protect what you love. Here's how it works. You attach the Mantis X to your firearm and connect it with an app on your smartphone or tablet via Bluetooth. It gives instant feedback on what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and how to correct your technique. The Mantis X is like a firearms instructor in your pocket, and 94% of the shooters improve within 20 minutes using Mantis X. The best part is you can use it at home. The best shooters in the world do dry fire practice at home, and the Mantis X is the best way to train at home. No driving to the range, spending money on range fees and ammo. You'll save a ton of money and improve your shooting. Start improving today. Get yours at MantisX.com. That's Mantis, M-A-N-T-I-S, X.com.
Real people, real stories.
I had acute eczema. I have tried every cream and ointment that you can imagine. It was pretty miserable. So I started taking the carnivora, and at this point, I don't want to ever be without it.
Our little dog developed this lymph problem. The chemotherapy lasted for 6 months. He started developing more lymph nodes that were swelled up. So I thought I'd just try carnivore. The lymph nodes started to go down, the swelling did. Then I took him into the vet to have him checked out, and there was no signs at all inside.
My cat had issues that developed in his eye, so my veterinarian said, you know what, just go ahead and remove the eye. I heard the carnivore advertising, so I said, you know what, I'm going to order this product. They did all the tests. I kid you not, this product saved his eye.
Call 866-836-8735. That's 866-836-8735. Or visit carnivore.com. That's carnivora.com.
And welcome back to Coast to Coast. George Norrie back with Mark Seifer as we talk about his latest book, Ozone Therapy for the Treatment of Viruses. I know that ozone generators, Mark, are being used to disinfect areas, but is the treatment of ozone therapy, is that legal or not?
Yes, definitely legal. The FDA Title 21 says ozone is a toxic gas with no medical application. That's the first step. But if you read further down, it's really against misuse of machines. And it doesn't say anything about ozone therapy, but it does say, in fact, that if you can establish that ozone is being used safely, then that is okay. And that's why there are like 350 medical doctors throughout the country that are ozone therapists. So the FDA is kind of doing, a bad thing, but they secretly are allowed it at the same time. But what happened in April of 2020, right at the beginning of all this, they directed the FTC tell every single ozone therapist, and these are medical doctors, regular old medical doctors, that they cannot advertise that they can disable the COVID virus with ozone therapy, or they will be prosecuted by the federal government.
Oh my gosh.
And so what I've been doing, I've been sending my book out to different congressmen. I heard back from Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, who's reading the book. I want Congress to deal with this federal regulation, Title 21, because they're saying ozone's a toxic gas with no medical application. Wentworth, the Scripps Institute, said that our own antibodies are manufacturing ozone. And of course, these are medical doctors that have been treating people with ozone therapy literally for 100 years. So there's there's hundreds of articles disproving this aspect of federal regulation Title 21. So I think that needs to be rescinded. And I think people like Dr. Fauci need to look at the evidence from Wentworth and just speak to these medical doctors and see the studies that have been done. There's 2 clinical studies that I discussed in the book where one, which I thought was really dramatic, they gave ozone therapy to 9 COVID patients, and they gave regular, just normal treatment to the other 9 that did 18 COVID patients. The 9 who got ozone therapy were out of the hospital in 7 days as compared to 28 days.
Wow, what a difference. It sure is. Where do we get your book, Ozone Therapy?
It's all over the place. It's online, Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Noble. It's really out there, and it's very interesting. One other thing I wanted to say has to do with, we learn how to fly by studying the birds. We want to treat, learn how to improve the immune system. Just study how the immune system works. And Mother Nature is telling us precisely how to do it. It manufactures ozone. That's what Paul Wentworth discovered it 20 years ago at Scripps Institute. I think he deserves a Nobel Prize. I think it's so hugely important, and I cannot believe that all these intelligent immunologists like Dr. Fauci, Dr. Walensky, Dr. J.A.J., that they're not studying this kind of evidence. It's so clear that ozone therapy is beneficial. The other thing I wanted to mention, you mentioned the asteroids possibly wiping out, civilization. If Ebola had spread like COVID, there would be no civilization left on this planet. That's why I wrote this book. It has to do with emerging viruses. We have to protect ourselves, and we have to realize that the FDA has made a huge mistake. Ozone is very beneficial. Without ozone, there'd be no life on the planet. And our own antibodies are manufacturing ozone. Viruses do not have the ability to self-repair. So what ozone does is it causes a tear in the lipid envelope, the outer skin of the virus. Once that happens, the virus dies. Our bodies can self-repair, but viruses can't. And that's how ozone works. And that's why 2 of the medical doctors, Dr. Robbins and Dr. Rowan, went to Africa during the Ebola pandemic in 2014. Who would go to an Ebola pandemic, That's how brave these guys were, but they knew what they were doing. They taught medical personnel how to treat Ebola. And fortunately, Ebola does not spread as easily as COVID. But had that happened, it would have been the end. It just would have been the end. So I'm talking about new emerging viruses. That's why it's important. And it's so fascinating. I even studied something like honey. Why does honey get bacteria and mold and stuff? That's because the bees have learned to put a little hydrogen peroxide in the honey. I mean, it's that kind of thing. Learning from Mother Nature. We learn how to fly by studying birds. We learn how to improve the immune system by simply studying what our antibodies are doing.
Why are scientists so concerned about our ozone layer breaking down, but they're not concerned about it being used to treat medically?
It's a huge prejudice against us, and I've been working very hard. I have to thank your physician. And George, I have to thank you. I mean, that you've put me on radio is so important. And this lady who gave me this book enabled me to figure out why the FDA regulation is wrong based on a mistake that's been corrected. I don't know, but without the ozone layer, there'd be no life on the planet. What happened is, you get back hundreds of years when, plant life began to evolve, create more oxygen in the atmosphere, then the sun would hit the oxygen, convert it into ozone, and then the ozone would rise up to the top of the atmosphere and block additional cosmic rays from hitting the Earth. The ozone layer is less than an inch thick. It's so unbelievable how fragile life is on this planet. And I believe in a higher being, a higher force. And when you study this, life is so precious on this planet, it's so fragile. So it's very important that we get off fossil fuels, that we don't pollute the atmosphere. We have to protect the ozone layer. Because without that, there's no life on the planet.
How did you end up being a handwriting expert too?
I read an article, actually, like a magazine on I don't like the fiction, I just read the articles. And there was an article on...
Okay.
on handwriting. Dan Anthony was teaching in New York in school, so I went back to New York and studied for 2.5 years. And then when I went to
was that all about?
Well, 9/11 was horrible, you know, Bin Laden did. And everyone didn't know whether or not he was alive or not. And the following year, there was a note sent to Al Jazeera, you know, at least in our country. And it was signed by Bin Laden. The Associated Press called me up. And they said, it's in handwriting. Is he still alive? And they came up here. And I analyzed the environment. And I just looked exactly like it was like kind of signature. It's kind of like just a design. Someone else put to it, but it looks very much like him. And it was the biggest story in the world whether or not Bin Laden was alive. And then, remember the Beltway sniper?
Yeah.
Well, the very day that I looked up, the most important story in the world was Bin Laden alive, on snipers, and they went on a airplane. And then the Beltway sniper came, and they told me just one of the pages, so I could like, you know, run there for about 20 seconds, and then I got knocked out with the Beltway sniper.
What does handwriting tell you?
It tells you about your entire personality. You know, in a way, it's kind of obvious. People have large handwriting, you know, a constant. People have small handwriting, have a lot of, you know, concentration. If it leans to the right, you tend to lean towards people. If it leans to the left, rebellion, attitude. It's really, you know, expression of the soul. You know, when we look at how man evolved for hundreds and hundreds of years, speech is one of the reasons why we mishandle it. We didn't have a good speech center. Handwriting is written speech. So it's really an expression of, you know, individual differences. I was looking at autobiography. He said, you know, I was just fortunate for some years. But I look at his handwriting, it's very well done handwriting. Very intelligent man. The reasons why he was deeper right. I think the book is called That Extraordinary Life of Ordinary Man, something like that.
Can you tell somebody's personality almost right away, Mark, when you look at his handwriting or her handwriting?
Yes, you can. I'll tell you a funny story. I, you know, these fairs, because I give fairs. And this man over on the corner, he's laughing so much about when he comes over, he says, his handwriting, Alan, you got a great sense of humor. He says, how do you know? I said, so you're telling jokes over in the corner. But, you know, he talks about that. But, you know, you can tell, you know, you can tell attention to detail, you can tell guests, you get to the vibe. You can tell displaced aggression. People have too much pressure, uneven pressure, or if the handwriting changes the slant, it also suggests that parents have opposite views, they pull in two different directions. Just incredible things you can tell.
If you had to give yourself a title today, what would that be? Author?
I like to think of myself as a scientist. I look at facts, and the facts, like in the ozone thing, they're so clear. Paul Wentworth deserves a Nobel Prize. He discovered that our own antibodies are producing ozone. So, with that happening, we want to study the answers. I can't believe how complicated it is. I have, you know, a number of texts with some of this. I can only read the first chapter. After that, it's too difficult. It's really, really complicated. But I think of myself as a scientist, as an author. I can more novels as well. I am a handwriting expert. In fact, I have a case that we testifying next week on the forgery case. So I don't know. I do a lot of different things. And I'm an expert on testing. I love testing stories. It's such an incredible story.
When you analyze handwriting, do you need the original or can you do it off a Xerox copy?
You'd like to get the original, but in this day and age, you often get, you know, PDFs that are emailed to you, and you do the best you can with the PDFs. You'd like to get the original. You can tell them regularly.
Is it easy to forge somebody else's signature these days?
No, it's very hard because you have to convert your own handwriting impulses, your own muscle memory, and take on someone else's. With Photoshop, you can cut and paste, but
signatures change as they change?
You know, some people have variations in their signatures and they evolve. A lot of executives come up with like a, rapid signature that's kind of illegible, but then they can go back and write it more legibly if it's an important document, like a will,
Yeah.
a giant loan or something like that. So it depends on the person. Some people are more rigid, so they press the same way over and over again. Some people are more flexible, some people are more variable. Tesla's handwriting changed a lot. In fact, when he thought he pulled frequencies from the Martians from outer space, the N in his name was very small, the very tiny N, and the T looked like an antenna reaching up. So his signature changes radically, and when his plans in Watercliff fell apart, his handwriting fell apart in 1906. So I showed that he had a nervous breakdown in 1906, but then his handwriting rebounded and he came back full blast to his old self. He went through a horrible period, and you could see it reflected in his handwriting.
Can you tell if somebody's left-handed or right-handed through a signature?
Usually you can. The way you tell is the T-bars. The righty goes from left to right, the lefty goes from right to left. So if you look at which way the T-bar is done, you can tell
That's interesting. That's fascinating. Your work is fascinating. Mark's website is linked up at coasttocoastam.com. He's also on Twitter and Facebook, so he's got a little social influence there. The book we're talking about tonight is called Ozone Therapy for the Treatment of Viruses, the Science and the Promise of Healing with Ozone. What's it going to take to get this legal? What do you think?
I want Congress, senators and congressmen to get rid of ozone therapy for the treatment of viruses. Read it. You're going to see that the evidence is so clear that this is simply enhancing what our own immune system is already doing. Our own immune system produces. In one of the books that I read, that if you stepped on a splinter, you would die within a day if we didn't have an immune system, because it multiplies so rapidly. Our white blood cells are manufactured 100,000 per second. Our red blood cells, 2 million per second.
Hold on for a second, Mark. We'll come back and talk more about your work. We'll take your calls with Mark Cipher in a moment, including, of course, if you want to talk about handwriting. We'll do that, too.
The Coast website is now streamlined for mobile devices. Great news if you're a Coast insider or simply want to enjoy our website on your phone. Visit coasttocoastam.com on your iPhone or Android browser.